Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Gospel Vibe with Sane and Shae here on this Sunday. We are so glad that you could join us. We'll be inviting some folks in to talk with us. We've got a lot to tell you about. So we hope over the next 30 minutes or so that we can give you some things that are going to help you and get you ready throughout the week. Good afternoon, man.
Hey,
All right, so now we've got just a few things that we're going to talk about. And for those who are joining us in the comments, we want to welcome you on as well. Chuck, how are you doing? Good evening from Monroe. Hey, look, bro, I didn't know y'all had two checkers. I just found out this weekend. You got one over there, I heard by campus, and then one over there on 165, man. So, man, kudos to y'all because I had no idea y'all had two checkers. That's one of our favorite go-to spots. Deji, how you doing? It's good to see you. Our oldest getting ready to graduate from the Grambling State University. We are so proud of our kids, her and of course our youngest daughter, getting ready to graduate. And I guess as parents, man, you look at that and wow, it's just like where is the time gone? You're seeing your kids grow up and you're seeing them go out and do some amazing things. And it's just I don't know. It just seems like sometimes it just seems like where's the time gone almost.
yeah, it moves fast.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those things where you just say, wow, where is this time going? And now we're seeing our little boy who's 8 years old and he's growing. And probably by next week, he'll be taller than everybody in the house and possibly wearing a bigger shoe size than everybody in the house because the boy just eats everything and just grows by the day. So, but anyway, just join us here for just a little bit and we'll go over just a few things and we'll talk about a few things and we'll engage together to see what things you got going on. He said, yes, we do. He said, I don't live far from the Checkers on 165. So yeah, man. So yeah, really good to see that. A lot of options there coming into Monroe and West Monroe, and good to see a lot of options coming to the city. Of course, that's one of the great things, man. You see communities grow and you see more franchises come to your area, and especially during a time where many places are closing because of different things, with COVID and all those things that happen. Let's see. Deji says, I'm excited and nervous and anxious at the same time. I mean, and we've been down that road, when you walk across that stage and you're like, what's next? What do we do now? How do we, what's the next thing for us? And so, it's oftentimes where it's difficult because you just see yourself and you walk across that stage and you get that thing and you achieved and now all of a sudden what do we do now? Where do we go from here? So yeah, definitely understand that. All right, we're going to go over a few things that are going on, and of course, we want to welcome our viewers, some viewers that will be joining us here from Houston. They've got a big event that'll be coming up, and we're going to talk about that now. This is the Wonder Women's Conference, where ministry and marketplace merge. It'll be coming up May the 10th through the 13th in Houston. You see the website down there, www.wonderwomanconference.com, www.wonderwomanconference.com. It is sponsored by the global strategist, Dr. LaShawn Denise Witt. She is the conference host, and she's got speakers coming from all over the country, some great men and women of God that'll be coming out to talk about different things and empowering yourself and, helping about business and teaching people about how to engage better in social media. So there's a lot of different things that will be going on at this conference in Houston. And so make sure that you register now. I had a chance to speak with her this week. She's on a tour with some students and out of California. And so she'll be coming into Houston, Texas. And so really want to fill this up. It's a very inexpensive conference that'll be coming up. Again, www.wonderwomanconference.com, www.wonderwomanconference.com, May 10th through the 13th. It's where ministry and marketplace merge. So make sure that you do not forget about that because it will be a great, great event that will be coming up. All right, let's go over a few things to talk about the show and show and all this other kind of stuff. If I can get this cursor to work right. I'm so sorry. Oh, here it is. First thing, of course, don't forget to follow us on YouTube. It's the Gospel Vibe with Sane and Shae. KPARDB, that is Praise Party Radio. We've got a lot of new things that are going on right now with the radio station. And so we'll see a new schedule that you'll see come out. And Jamila is doing a great job in getting that all together for us. She's done great with graphics and some of the social media. And I saw things out there, Shae, and I was like, where did that come from? So, so again, go to KPARDB Praise Party Radio, and we'll be able to hopefully entertain you and also inspire you as well. Don't forget, this is coming up. This is the Gospel Choice Music Awards celebrating 29 years. That'll be June the 23rd and the 24th in Atlanta. And of course, we will be there. That will be where, of course, honorees will be there. And that I'm one of the honorees this year. And of course, up for finalists for the Independent Network of the Year. So make sure that you do that. And don't forget about the Gospel Vibe. It's the online show here. And then, of course, you got the radio show every single Sunday from 8 until 9 a.m. And that is going to be on the Hits 96.3 FM and, of course, hits963fm.com. The Indie Christian Artist Showcase is coming up next Saturday, and that will be in Grambling, Louisiana at the Pharaoh Student Union Black and Gold Room. There you see some of the guests there. Tickets are free. They are for the free. All you got to do is just go to Eventbrite to get your tickets, and you will be in the place. All right, they're free, so there's no reason why you shouldn't come. They're free. All right, and we're inviting people out on online as we speak right now. So, also this is coming up. This is the Summer Vibes Gospel Concert Series, and this will begin coming up on June the 19th, the day after Juneteenth, as a matter of fact, or that Monday, I should say. And this is going to be 4 great concerts. Marvin Sapp, Travis Green, Anthony Brown, Smokey Norfolk, all coming to Monroe. Go to koka.am for more information. This should be it should be a fantastic summer. Those are some great concerts. So make sure that you go on and you check those out again. Those are the 4 concerts to share for the Summer Concert Vibes, the Gospel Concert Series that will be coming up. We're going to get to our comments here in just a second. Like and share. Tell everybody to like and share this. Oh, just went past it again. My fingers do not work today. I don't know why. I've had finger problems all week. I don't know why. This is the East Texas Gospel Music Professionals Artist 2-Day Spotlight. It'll be April the 24th and the 25th. That's this week, 7 to 8 nightly. And of course, you can go to the number 4 evergospelradio.com, 4evergospelradio.com for more details there. And I think that's Juneteenth celebration. So the inaugural Juneteenth Indie Gospel concert or contest, I should say, we had the first round on yesterday. Cornelius Jackson, native of Jonesboro, Louisiana. He lives in Ruston. He is the winner of the first one. And then, of course, next week on Friday, or this week, I should say, is Lincoln Parish night from 7 to 9 p.m. So anybody from Lincoln Parish in Louisiana will be able to try out at Mount Harmony Baptist Church. After that, May 6th, it will be at the Bridge. June 2nd, it will be at Temple Baptist Church. Those are open to anybody in the country, and we're already getting a lot of requests. So that's brought to you by Zion Traveler CDC, The Real Change in Ruston, and the City of Ruston. So a lot to talk about, and I think we got through everything. Shae, as a singer, one of the things that we talked about yesterday, and when we talked to contestants, is just important to be yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just important also just to know that, hey, when you get up there, you do your best, and you're honest with yourself as well. You just got to be honest with yourself. All right, let's look at some of the comments that we have. Let's see. Darrell is checking in. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Chuck said, hated to see Bed Bath & Beyond go out of business. Yeah, some news came out about that today, as a matter of fact, and they are filing for bankruptcy protection. So from the looks of it, they'll be closing all of their stores. Wednesday, they'll start having all these massive sales across the country. But they've been struggling quite a bit with all of their different chains and things like that. I think Bye Bye Baby and all of those, they've been struggling quite a bit over the last few years, especially since the pandemic, and just really haven't been able to turn things around. As a matter of fact, saw on a couple of different occasions where there's stores that have already closed. So not sure if they'll be able to recover any, and hopefully, you'll see some that will be able to recover. But from the looks of what the CEO said, they're in the process of just closing down all the stores, and it's really sad to see that. But unfortunately, that is the business that we are in, or the times that we're in, I should say. And so it's really, really sad. Hey, like and share. Let us know that you are here, and we will definitely acknowledge your comments. All right, so just a couple of things here. We're going to get to our food foolishness and some good food This is me yesterday. Try something new at a place called Log Cabin. It's in Ruston, Louisiana, and that is the chicken fried steak and the baked potato. I didn't put the side salad on there. It's the brown gravy and a little side of toast right there, but it was pretty good, and it's a pretty solid spot in Ruston, Louisiana. What did you have again?
A burger.
Just a burger?
Yeah,
Are the
just had a
burger pretty solid?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So burgers are pretty solid. So the Log Cabin in Ruston. So if you are in Ruston, make sure that you go by there, check it out. They got some great food there. And then also saw this week at Walmart. Captain Crunch Ocean Blue artificially maple flavored syrup. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going there. That's a lot of sugar for the kid. Uh, I don't even know if my kids will. I don't know if our kids were like that. Maybe I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's just a bit much.
Yeah.
I mean, Captain Crunch. I mean, they've got Captain Crunch cereal. We know that, and we know that they've got the IHOP cereal with blueberry pancakes. But now, putting artificially maple flavored syrup, Ocean Blue, on your pan. Anybody trying that? We haven't had any takers, by the way, on that ranch ice cream. Just saying. Let's see. Chuck said that the pandemic took its toll on small businesses. Yeah, no doubt, man. They took a lot. People took a lot of hits on the small
Collegiate Shop
businesses.
is going out of business.
That is right. Yeah, that's right. Collegiate Shop is going out of business, as a matter of fact, and they've been in. Gosh, we remember the Collegiate Shop when we first got to Grambling. Probably one of the most consistent stores with realities. Collegiate Shop right there in the village in Grambling. Those are places that have been mainstays. But I know Leon and Dolores there with the Collegiate Shop. They've been there for probably over 30, 40 years, if not more. Calvin Wickerson, I know the old man was used to be over it, and so now they are getting ready to go out of business. And again, it's one of those institutions that if you went to Grambling State University, you always knew about places like the Tiger House and Hillbillies and the Collegiate Shop. Well, the Collegiate Shop stayed around forever, just forever. Tyrone Sterling, how you doing, man? Artificial, yes, it said artificial. That's exactly what it said. Again, you can't make this up, bro. We cannot make this up. This is in Walmart. So if you go to your local Walmart and you look on the shelves, you will find that. Now, if your kids try that or you try that, let us know. We want to know how it tastes. Do a little taste test and send us a video of it because I want to know whose stomach can handle that. But I know that it'll be pretty ugly for me. I couldn't do it. I just really couldn't do it. So let us know if you are trying the Captain Crunch Ocean Blue maple syrup. Now we had a couple requests about some things that we put on. This is I think we talked about these here. Yeah, these are from the bakery on Memorial. If you go over by Memorial Mall, there's a bakery right over there. I'm sorry, it is in Houston, Texas. And so in Houston, Texas, there's people asking about this bakery that we went to, and it's called the Memorial Bakery, and it's over in Houston, Texas. It's just off of I-10, and so it's right by the mall. So if you go there, they asked about that, and I think we had a little fruit cup dish and things like that we had over there. These are just some of the things that my son and I saw, and we showed you these on one of the shows that we did. And so it is over in Houston, Texas. So if you are over there, just going over, it's right by the mall. The Memorial Mall that's over there off of I-10. You can't miss it. It's by Memorial Hermann Hospital. So you cannot miss that. It's right over there. Go back to the comments. Let's see. Mr. Calvin Wilkerson. Yeah, he was a sharp dresser. Absolutely. He would sit outside and he'd have it'd be summer too. Suit on, ribs, socks, Stacey Adams. He talked to you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, people used to talk to Mr. Wilkerson all the time about the things that were going on. So, yeah, but it is sad to see some of these institutions that are going away, and it's just sign of the times, unfortunately. Also, I promised Tony Blake, Chef Antonio Taylor has a brand of spices out, and it's from Lanyap Foods. And these are spices that he actually hand makes. These are blends that he has. He has several different blends that you can take part of. They're really, really great. So go to Lanyap Seasonings. You can go there, Chef Antonio Taylor on Instagram, on Facebook as well. And so you can find his brand of spices there. So make sure that you do that because they're really, really good. He hand makes those. And so he has orders all the time. And so if you decide that, you want some spices, make sure that you go out there and visit them. They are really, really good. The 1950s. Wow, I didn't realize the Khalid shop goes back to the 50s. Wow, that's a long time. So yeah, it's just hate to see that some of these staples that are closing here in Louisiana and of course across the country. Another thing is tomorrow there'll be a big announcement about the Juneteenth celebration concert and of course the tryouts that are going on right now. So for those who are in Lincoln Parish, again, your night is next Friday from 7 to 9 at Mount Harmony Baptist Church in Ruston. And there'll be a big announcement tomorrow. You just need to be looking out. ZionTravelerCDC.com is where you need to go. ZionTravelerCDC.com is where you need to go because there'll be a huge announcement coming up tomorrow. And then, of course, it'll be released to the media and all of that kind of good stuff. But yeah, just probably another reason why you want to go ahead and you want to get involved in the Juneteenth inaugural independent artist contest. And there it is once again, the flyer, the dates are there. April 22nd at Zion Traveler, April 28th at Mount Harmony, May 6th at the Bridge, and then June 2nd at Temple Baptist Church. The finals June 16th at Zion Traveler Baptist Church at 6 p.m. And then the Real Change in Reston winner will go, or the regional winner will go to the concert after they win the finals. They'll go to the concert on that Saturday, June the 17th. James Fortune, Keelante Gavin, Pastor Mike Jr. will all be in the house. You'll get to open for one of them. Man, that should be great. It should be great. So, see a couple other things I was going to ask you about. Oh yeah, we're talking a little bit about some travel. I know we got hit up about traveling. Well, when we travel, we try to find places where they're going to be inexpensive. We stay at a lot of family places, and I know, for some people, their vibe is to go to the Westin or the W or the Sheridan or the Hyatt or the Hilton. And hey, whatever your flavor is, you choose what you like best. We go to places like um, the Residence Inn. We go to places like Spring Hill Suites, Town Place Suites. We just went to one in South Houston. The reason we go is because one is you can get a 2-bedroom suite, which is probably less than getting 2 rooms, much less. The other thing is that you probably, more than likely going to have a great breakfast that's free. You don't have to worry about going somewhere. And then, you go downstairs at the Hilton or the Hyatt and it costs you $20, $30 a person to eat. And, you got a finicky eater like ours, like our little 8-year-old. And, he might, eat a few bites and be done with it. You got to pay $20 for him anyway. There's no kids meal at the Hyatt. So, you just, those are things that you can do in order to save money for yourself, especially if you're traveling this summer, is look for those hotels that offer great deals, join their clubs. And so if you stay at Hyatt's or you stay at Hilton's or you stay at Marriott hotels throughout the year, you kind of gain those points and then you can use those points for different things. Rental cars, the same way. If you go to Enterprise, you can join their club and then you can gain points from that. We're both Marriott Bonvoy members. And so it really pays because all of a sudden you say, hey, I don't have a lot of money or, we want to just save a little bit. You go to your Marriott account, you got about 30,000 points. You can easily get a room for the night, and it saves you money. The other thing is that you can cook in your room, stove. Now all of a sudden, you have someone that does not eat a lot of fast food or is vegetarian or vegan or special diets. You can cook right in your room and you can save money. Man, saving money. Do you realize I don't have no money in my pocket? You know why? Because we got kids. So we spend money on our kids. So
Yep.
so those are just one of the things that we found that have been great. And look, some breakfasts are better than others. We've been some hotels where the breakfast really wasn't great, so we still had to go to the Golden Arches for the kids or whatever the case is. But for the most part, those free breakfasts that are at the residence inns and things like that are pretty good. Courtyard has an option, so you can actually purchase a breakfast that goes along with your room. So if you don't want to go there and you wanted to save a little money, you can purchase that breakfast option for 1, 2, or 4 people, 3 people, or whatever, and usually it saves you some money. So that's just one of the things that we wanted to tell you about. There are ways for you to save money when you're getting ready to go to these trips and things like that for the summer, and plan ahead. That helps out a lot too because hotel prices are the fool in the summer. Oh my God. We were just looking at some hotel prices the other day. And I mean, 3, 4, $200, $300 a night. in some of these places. I mean, so just plan ahead as much as you can and just see what you can find, especially on if you can get on those apps and become members, you'll save a little money. One thing to watch out for is they have one of those options when you go to some of these apps, especially on Bonvoy. Some you got to watch it because sometimes they'll say, "Hey, you can choose this option and it's less money," but it'll tell you it's non-refundable and you pay right away.
Yeah.
And that's happened to us a couple of times. And all of a sudden we're hitting that button. We're just like, man, and it's that first option usually, and it's real little writing where it just says, "Hey, this is prepaid and it's non-refundable." And then all of a sudden you just wonder, how come there's $180 out of our checking account? Well, because it was prepaid. And when they mean non-refundable, usually it's within 24 hours
Mm-hmm.
that you can make a change to it. And but other than that, it's once it's done, it's done. So watch those prepays. Some of those can get you in the pocket if you're not careful, and especially when you're talking about some of the ones that have a little bit higher price, especially during holidays, 4th of July, and all that kind of stuff. You can really have some problems. All right, let's go back to our comments. Collegiate Shop. This is he said it was founded 67 years ago.
Okay.
Wow, some good history there. Chuckopedia. That's the reason why they call you that, man. All right, so yeah, Collegiate Shop, one of the institutions, they'll be closing their doors in Grambling, Louisiana, just in the village off of campus, not too far from the Eddie Robinson Museum. As a matter of fact, on Main Street, just behind the Eddie Robinson Museum, just go down that street across from my favorite barbershop, which is the G Spot. So yeah, make sure that you go and visit the Collegiate Shop before they close down. And they got so many people. They've had some loyal customers over the years that have really been shopping there for 40 and 50 years. It's just been incredible seeing that. So, but anyway, just make sure that you go there before you go. And speaking of Grambling, spring game, saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Football team looked pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they look pretty good. They did extremely well offensively. Defensively, they looked good. There was a good crowd, and then all of a sudden, bugs came out. I don't know where the bugs came from. These little bitty gnat-looking things that had, the ones that are real light. They got these, little wings or whatever. They're really, really.
Yeah. Like white wings or something.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they were just flying around, and everybody just started just waving and everything. Just that's Louisiana though. It just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, great game yesterday. Great time. Really, really small fee, $10 to get in and $10 to park. I mean, there's other places that charge you a whole lot more money for a spring game. So and look, you got to offset those costs. There were some people online that were complaining about it and everything, and I just told them, look, you have to find ways to offset those costs. It costs money to put on those games.
Yeah,
you got to. Yeah, you pay officials, you pay police officers, you got to pay staff, ticket takers. I mean, you got to pay all those folks, and so at some point you got to figure, okay, we're just going to snatch it out the budget, and we may not have it, or we're just going to try to find a way to gain some money in order to do that. And $10, you may have 1,000 people if you're lucky at one of those games.
Right.
It ain't like you're making a ton of money with that. If you make 20 grand on that game, maybe, it's something like that,
Right.
I watched the Grambling spring game on HBCU League Pass and Colorado's game on ESPN at the same time. Yes, the spring game was on HBCU League Pass. That Colorado game, they had 1,950 people last year at their spring game, 45,000 at this game. What do we learn? Deion makes a difference. I mean, that's just the way it goes. I mean, I know you're not the biggest Deion fan, but it's just the truth. I mean, you see the excitement that they have with their program now. I mean, it was a team that lost every game last year. Nobody was coming. All of a sudden, here comes Deion and 45,000 at your spring game, and they sold out their spring tickets. So one person did ask, how do our HBCUs start selling tickets out? I mean, there's a number of ways. If we don't want to see our teams having to play those money games, you got to come to home games. That's the bottom line. Athletics is about money. And it was in the snow. It was snowing in Colorado, and there were 45,000 people there. But that's Colorado. We ain't doing that in the snow. If it would have snowed here, it'd have been the players and the TV folks and the officials, because we was not going to go out in this. We don't go out in the snow like that. We don't go out in the cold too much like that. So it was a great day yesterday, though. But if we don't want to see our teams playing, the Division I teams and some of these other guys, you got to sell out your home games. I mean, that's just the nuts and bolts of it. You can't say, well, people just need to come out. And we're going to, and you also have to have a team that people are interested in watching. if you got a sorry game that's coming there and all that kind of stuff, you got to think about it, especially if you're a Grambling fan. You're going to go to Bayou Classic. You're going to go to Dallas. So that's 2 high-dollar games. This year, you're going to go to Baton Rouge for LSU. So that's 3 games you're going to go on the road, pay a lot of money for hotels, a lot of money for this and that. Then you're going to turn around and say, okay, well, come to all 4 games. You're going to come to homecoming. But then do I want to see, Virginia University Lynchburg just on a normal Saturday? If Bayou Classic is in 2 weeks, I don't want to see that. So it's not only about the fans coming, it's also about seeing those teams that people want to see. Then it's also about, hey, the more that you do come, though, the less we got to go on the road. That's just, everybody says, why Southern have 5 home games? More people. That's the nuts and bolts. More people, more home games. That's how it goes. We say we was only going to do 30 minutes today. Again, just a reminder that we got just a couple of, just a few days remaining until the next round of the Juneteenth second round, the second tryout, and that'll be in Ruston at Mount Harmony Baptist Church from 7 to 9 p.m. So please make sure that you do that. Don't forget about registering for this big conference in Houston, Texas, WonderWomanConference.com, May 10th through the 13th in Houston, Texas. And then, of course, let me see. Oh, yeah, our food foolishness for the week. You trying that? Captain Crunch Ocean Blue Maple Flavored Syrup. Just let us know if you tried it. And then, we still haven't, Dre said he was going to try this nasty ice cream. Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream. Limited edition by Van Leeuwen. We still don't know if he tried it yet. One more comment before we get out of here, and that is Chuck. Chuck, come on, be honest. Be honest. When you had those games and things like that, and they're not on homecoming, we don't have the best of attendance at Grambling. If it's not a homecoming game, you don't have the attendance. And that's just the facts. And so, it's about having interesting games. It's also about fans just understanding that if you want more home games, you got to attend the ones that you have. There's 4 home games this year. If we average 10 or 12,000 on all those home games, then the administration will start saying, well, maybe we need to do that. Florida Memorial, I think, is going to be a homecoming game. Then you got 3 conference games. If you have 10 or 12,000, then hey, maybe we need to have another home game.
You just have to win.
And there's the other thing too.
Nobody came to Colorado when they weren't.
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. Y'all never answer me. Why no B batteries?
They haven't. Sam wasn't there during that conversation, Darrell, so he don't know what you're talking about.
You have to fill me in later.
No, he was just saying there's A batteries and there's C and D, but why no B?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Idea. Why are there no B batteries? I don't know. The syrup will have you jumping off the wall. I'm sure it will. Yeah, because it's nothing but sugar and food coloring, probably. A little bit of and maple syrup too. I'm sure we'll have you jumping off the wall. B batteries, Darrell. Darrell was really on one yesterday. Yeah, he was one of the judges yesterday at the event. But yeah, that's the thing. Winning cures a lot. And I know that team yesterday, we saw a lot of fans walked away very encouraged by what they saw with that Grambling football team. And Coach Jackson, new coaches coming in and new philosophies. And, there's, of course, players, some make it, some don't. That's why, hey, that's a part of growing. You got to find out who's going to be playing and who's not. And so, but fans, it's up to us. You got 4 home games.
It's up to us, but like I said, it's up to the team, too. Nobody wants to come and constantly see your team getting kicked. So that's what happened last year. It started off great, but it gets heartbreaking. So people don't want to spend their money. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a balancing act. You can't just put it all on the fans.
No, it's not all on the fans. It's on everybody.
Yeah, them people didn't come see that team Deion went supposedly saved, because we don't know if he saved it yet. So we'll see.
Well, we know this. The season tickets were sold out.
Yeah.
They sold out.
But they might be sold out to watch their team lose all their games again. You don't know.
Yeah.
They play.
That's possible. But, look, you got to take a step in the right direction. And to me, that's one of the things you got to do is start by getting those season tickets now. Buy season tickets, and that's a way that you can do it. If you can get more season tickets this year than last year, just by a start. If you look at what was on the field yesterday, it's promising. Start by buying season tickets. Even if you don't go, buy season tickets then and say, hey, even if I don't get a chance to go to the game because I live in California or Seattle or whatever, you can forward those season tickets to somebody else. But yeah, just it starts by just investing. It starts there. Businesses, fans, alumni, you got to invest. And I like what I saw last night. It's a step in the right direction. And I think that's what you have to do is that, last year at this time, we didn't feel the same way as we did after the game yesterday. We didn't feel the same way. We saw quarterbacks that were, really doing well. We saw wide receivers that were making phenomenal catching the ball, defensively playing well. So you're encouraged. Buy those season tickets now. And it's the 50th anniversary of Bayou Classic, by the way. So don't wait for free tickets. Buy your tickets now because guess what? That's going to be a huge thing.
And don't call here for no free tickets because we don't have any.
We don't have any.
Just putting that out there now.
So yeah, just go ahead. There'll be contests that'll go on and things like that. That'll be sponsored, and so you can hear those. But just buy those tickets because again, that's how you support programs. It's buying those tickets. All right. So a new energy, a new year. Just like you have optimism. Optimism does a lot for the buying habits. That's why there was only 1,950 fans last year at Colorado's game because there was no optimism. This year you have Deion and there's 45,000 and you're on ESPN. Change makes a difference. The optimism makes a difference. And so that's what I would suggest.
But on the other end, what did he do to Jackson?
Well,
how many people were at their spring game?
A lot. As a matter of fact, there was a good amount of TC Taylor, I think, is going to really do a great job in coaching there. He's one of Jackson's own. He's he was a player there. A lot of people respect him. So I think that he'll do well there. I mean, I think there were like 15, 20,000 fans at their spring game. I mean, and that's the thing. Deion left, so are you going to stop going? That's the question because Jackson State's been around for a long time, and before there was Deion, there was James Carson, there was all these other coaches, and there were 50 and 60,000 fans there. So don't let that one person who does decide to leave say, okay, we're not going to support the program anymore. You can't do that. You got to keep going because if we're saying, hey, we're here before he was here and after he was here, you got to prove that. All right. We know that we know that celebrities at times bring those effects, but you got to keep it moving. All right. Colorado has not been relevant since Bill McCartney. Good Lord, how long ago was that? Bill McCartney was a long time ago at Colorado. I think this is the first sellout that they've had for season tickets since 1996. Was the last time they sold out for season tickets. 96. That's a long time ago. So you're talking about 30 years at Colorado State since they've sold out for season tickets. So again, it's up to we got to start somewhere, and let's start by investing in our program. And if we want a lot to say, what are we putting into the program too? So just make sure we remember that. I remember Tony Hull. He is now a coach with the Grambling staff when he was a head coach at Warren Easton in New Orleans, which he had great teams. And see, that's another thing too. Some of the hires that he's made, that Coach Hugh Jackson has made, Tony Hull being one of them. Man, right there, a product from Warren Eastern in New Orleans. And so, that was one of the things the alumni talked about, getting someone from the New Orleans area who can recruit that area. Now you got a guy like Tony Hull who is there. W.C. Gordon, absolutely. Remember him at Jackson State when he coached the team, and they used to have tons of fans there. So, again, that's just one of the things that we got to remember as fans. We see things.
We didn't have the spring game probably will help.
Oh yeah.
The optimism. So it works a little differently with us because we don't have Deion's celebrity. So people have to see for themselves, and if you say they love, feeling great, then people will probably start to support.
Yeah,
it's not going to work the same as Colorado.
Oh no, it's not.
It's different.
PWIs are a lot different than HBCUs. That's just the truth. But look, the biggest thing is just, hey, there was a good crowd there for the spring game yesterday.
It was a nice crowd.
It was a good
really
crowd.
Nice crowd.
And that was optimistic. Seeing that, seeing those guys out there just competing against each other was great. Two totally separate teams. So you had offense and defense for both teams. That was great to see. Mm-hmm. And so, look at the schedule. There's a lot of great games, especially if you want to go close. LSU is right there. Of course, we know that's a money game. We know that it is. We are the last school, by the way, in this state, whether it was D1 or 1AA or FCS now, that LSU has played. They played Southern and Grambling were the last two teams. They played Nichols, they played Northwestern, they played Southeastern, they played Tech, they played ULM. They played everybody in the state but Grambling and Southern. Those were the last two teams in the state that they hadn't played. And so for them to see this game happen, it's more about this support. And, we want to make sure that there's a good showing on that football field. But we know it's a money game. We know that. We understand that. We understand that it's a money game. But, just like Coach Jackson said to one of the reporters not too long ago, look, if we're not going in here thinking we can win, why are we going to go?
Right.
And so that's the job of the coaches and the team to believe that they're going to go in there and win. I'm sure the Appalachian State did not think that they were going to beat Michigan when they were 4 or 5 touchdown underdogs, and then they went in there and won. So, take it for what you may, but I think it's a step in the right direction, and if you want to have a say in where the program is going, where things are going, you got to have an investment. And I think that this is your opportunity, whether you're a Southern fan, a Grambling fan, a Jackson State fan, especially, and I'm going to challenge those Jackson fans too. Don't say all those words at before and after. We're here before Deion and after Deion, and then don't support TC, because that's one of your own. That's one of your own. He was a great player at Jackson State. He's a stand-up guy. He was a coach there at Jackson State, an assistant under Deion. So if we're saying that, support that man, because he's coming out there and he's been recruiting. He can't help those players that have left, because we knew that was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. It's the time of the transfer portal. They're going players are going all over the place. Last thing we're going to leave for those who are parents of athletes. When you are going on your visits, please make sure that you understand the environment and the staff, the coaches that you're handing your kids over to. Do not just say, hey, it's a big program and that's it. If your kid's going to sit the bench 4 years, what does it do for them? Go to a program where your kid is going to play, because if they want to move to the next level, especially if they are football, basketball, they're going to be seen if they're good enough. The other thing is, if they enjoy playing, go somewhere where they can enjoy playing, not sitting because they're going to a big school. Mm-hmm. Then the last thing is that before these kids get into the transfer portal, parents, let them know, and I'm telling you, this is not coach speak, this is fact. 40 to 50% of those kids who get in the transfer portal never get picked up by another school, and they don't play again. Never. Mm-hmm. So if you have a kid that says, hey, I'm just going to get in the transfer portal and I'm going to see who's going to get me, 9 times out of 10, coaches that want them have already talked to them. Mm-hmm. Don't be fooled. 40 to 50% of those kids that go in the portal never get picked up. Nope. Never.
Best to stay where you are.
So
or have a guarantee that you can get accepted somewhere else. There's the bad side to that portal. You just jumping in there because coach yelled at me and I don't like what this doing and I don't feel like I get enough time. Well, you better be sure that you can go somewhere else.
That's right.
Because it's shutting out a lot of players, including some good high school players.
Yeah. And some of these high school players, are going to these teams, and, unfortunately, I think some of the high school players are the ones, it's a good point, that they're losing.
They're losing.
Yeah. Because everybody's moving in the portal and they're getting junior college players and all of that. And they're more and more. And, there's some coaches that told you, we don't really recruit a lot of high school kids. We get mainly portal kids.
So there's a limit to that. You stop recruiting high school kids. After a while, your portal's going to dry up.
Because there'll be fewer. That's right.
It's going to get less and less and less.
So now those
recruiting freshmen.
So now those high school
high school programs are going to suffer. Kids won't want to play.
Well, what's going on is those high school kids are now going to some of the smaller schools. And I'll give you a good example. There was one kid that went to an NAI school. They found out that he was a heck of a player. Next year, all of a sudden, hey, we want him to come to this school because he can play. Well, he was already a good player, but they waited for him to go to another school, and now those schools are really taking advantage of the smaller schools because they're going to there, getting their skills honed, and now you're taking those kids away. So you didn't believe them at first. Now all of a sudden that their skills are honed, you take them away from those programs. Right. Which is why they are looking at eliminating the handshake line in basketball, because all of a sudden that card is slid in one of those players' hands or something. They're telling y'all truth, man. This is why things are happening
all the time.
So if y'all think that this stuff is not happening, man, I'm just telling y'all the truth and what the Lord loves. Parents, please talk to your student athletes. about going to these schools and they're not playing and getting in that portal, and they don't have any guarantees, because if they get in there 40 to 50%, that means you got a good chance of not getting picked up by any school. We ain't even talking about the big schools, by any school. There was a kid that I know, and his mom said, no, he's going to go to the portal, man. This school ain't treating him well and all that kind of stuff. You know where he is right now? 2 years later, he is working at a local grocery store and not playing basketball anymore. And he was a great athlete. Great athlete. He had a guarantee by just staying at his school. Nah, coach ain't playing me right. I'm going to leave. Well, this is what happens at times. So anyway, we're past time, 30 minutes. Chuck, thanks for staying on with us, my brother. My first cousin daughter committed to play basketball at Oklahoma City University. She is from Austin, Texas. Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. That's great. And watch what I'm telling you. And she's really good. And she's from Austin. Those big schools are going to come see her. They were like, oh, yeah, you need to come on over to the portal. There was one year, I think 2 years ago, Northwestern State's entire starting five on the women's basketball team transferred down the portal. The entire starting five. It happens. It happens. So anyway, thank y'all for joining us. Again, if you missed something, go back and look at it, because we got some great announcements. There's a big announcement about the Juneteenth contest coming up tomorrow. So please make sure that you look out for that. You can go to ZionTravelerCDC.com in order to get that. I'm going to take this one home and get her feeling good. But yeah, she's at McNeil High of Austin. Yeah, that's a very good school. Very good school. So thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see y'all next week here on the Weekend Prep, the Gospel Vibe with Shae and Shae. My mind is so bad right now. I'm just fumbling all up. We'll